In this week's video, I'm going to talk about how to build your email list as a health and wellness coach. And you've probably heard a number of conflicting advice about building an email list. And you may be wondering, do I really need one? Is this necessary? Is email dead, so to say? What's the point of having an email list? And so I'm going to answer those questions about whether you need an email list, and I'm going to talk about the steps to build an email list. So obviously my answer is yes, you do need an email list, and you're going to want one because it's a super great way to build community and to have a list of potential customers. So the thing about social media is it's great, and it's a great way to get out in front of new people. The thing about social media is you do not own your audience on social media. So even if you have a huge following on Instagram or Facebook, or you have a Facebook group, or you have a big following on YouTube or LinkedIn, like, you don't own that social media platform or your community there. So at any time, your community could go away. Facebook could shut down, Instagram could shut down, something could happen. There could be, some sort of technical problem, and your whole community could just disappear. Obviously, we're hoping that's not going to happen, right? But this is why you want to have an email list. One of the many reasons you want to have an email list, because you want to have another way to have people in your community and a way that you own. So you own your email list. It's not going to be taken away from you in any way like social media could. So you want to get people over to an email list. And you may have heard as well that the money is in the list. And I really do think that this is true, that it's great to grow a good social media following, but you want to get those people onto your email list, because that's an extra step of them being like, yes, I'm interested. And so you want to get them on your list. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about the steps to start building an email list and getting more people on your mailing list so that you can be in communication with them. So the first thing is really understanding who your ideal client is and what your messaging is around your ideal client, okay? And you're gonna understand why this is so important in the next step, but we need to know what your ideal client's biggest problem is, who this person is, where they're hanging out, and what is the solution that you provide to help that person. And why we need to know that is because the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a free offer for those people. It's a free resource. It's a free, could be a video series, a webinar, something that your ideal client is going to really want. And the reason they really want it is because it's going to help them solve a problem that they have. Okay, so we're going to create some sort of, I like to call it a freebie. It's some sort of a free offer that your ideal client really wants. It's very valuable to them because it helps them solve a problem that they have. Okay, that's why we need to know who your ideal client is and the problem that they have, and the solution that you provide to help them solve that problem. Okay, so what do you talk about then in a freebie? So in your freebie, it is a piece of free content, and there's really like two different things you could do. One is giving a bit of like an aerial view. So if you were looking down like on an airplane at what it is you do and the solution you provide, what does that look like? So you're not going really in depth about how you help people, but you're giving them a kind of like an overview of what it looks like. And the other thing that you could do is you could get a little bit more specific about maybe one piece of the solution that you provide, or one piece of the thing that they get really stuck with, and dive a little bit deeper into that, okay? But the key here is to keep things simple and to make it actionable, something that they can put into practice right now. You don't want to give them something super complicated. You don't want to give them like a 30-day, action steps to take. Like, you want them to be able to easily consume it and put it into play right away. So they get like a little mini win, they get a bit of a result. And it may not even be actually like a tangible result they see in their life. Maybe it's a mindset shift, right? So if we can actually shift someone's mindset about what is going on for them and the problem they have, that is super valuable as well. So to just even give you an example, for weight loss, for example, like a lot of people are so focused on the food and I need a meal plan and what I'm eating. And if I could shift someone's mindset and instead show them that's not really the problem. That's what you think the problem is, right? But the real problem is how you're thinking about food, your relationship with food, and really like focus instead maybe on the mindset piece. If that's what I really focus on helping people with, I may be able to really shift their mindset as far as like they keep trying this one solution, which maybe is diets, like they've tried 100 diets and they're not working. And I'm explaining why they're not working. I'm explaining the missing piece that they don't have and they haven't been implementing. So that's really what you want to do with your freebie, because it's going to show that you're the authority in what it is you're speaking about. And it's going to show them that you understand their problem and you know how to help them solve it. Okay. Once again, it could be a shift in a mindset, or it could be like a really simple, some simple steps that they can take and they're going to see a result in it, because then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want more. Okay. So this is your freebie and this is what you want to offer to people in exchange for their email address. So you say, I have this amazing free gift. And in exchange for your email address, you can sign up and you will get this free gift. Okay. And that's how you start building your email list and building it with the right people, the people you want to be working with, because it's specific to your ideal client and the problem you solve. All right. So just from experience, just to give you a few more tips on creating a freebie, I think video is key. Obviously, I'm doing a video right now. I've seen how powerful it is with connecting with people and building a connection. And so I always recommend, like, if you can do a video and do like a freebie video, I think it's going to result in more people feeling a strong connection with you and signing up to work with you probably quicker than if you just offer like a checklist or an ebook. And those can work and they can be super effective. So you can also maybe keep in mind, like, what does your ideal client want and what would they find most valuable to them? But I always think a little video goes a long ways. So if you can do a video and you're comfortable with doing a video, and you may not even be comfortable, I would strongly recommend to do one anyways, even if it's just a little video to go with an ebook or a checklist or something. Okay, so the last piece, and I talked about this a little bit before, but is just to keep it short, simple. If you're doing video, it should be like 10 minutes maximum, maybe 15. It should not get any longer than that. And if it's an ebook or something, you want to keep it short too. People have short attention spans. Like, we have social media, we have the internet, like we have things coming at us all the time. If you create something really long, people most likely aren't going to go through it. Okay. So short, simple, easily applicable, is really what you want to keep in mind. And you don't want to use coachy lingo in your freebie. I talk about this a lot with messaging an ideal client. You want to be using the words of your ideal client. You want to keep it simple. You want to be speaking to someone like you would in a text message. Like, it's very like, kind of short, to the point. And so I find a lot of coaches get really coachy about things, and you want to bring it down to their level and speak to them like you would to a friend, and like they're gonna get it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Super important. And the last piece is just to to look through your freebie after you create it and be like, oh, like, does this make me really excited to find out more and to potentially want to work with this person? So always go back through it yourself, have other people look at it and see if that's the case. But this is really what you want to have to create an email list, right? We value our email. Your email is almost like giving out your phone number now, right? Or your home address. So you need to have something very valuable in exchange for someone's email. And once you do, you can start creating your email list. And then once you get people onto your email list, you want to be communicating with them regularly and letting them know more about you and what you do and how valuable it is. So I recommend having like a weekly newsletter that you send out to people. And that really is your potential customer list. So yes, you want to create an email list, and creating an awesome freebie that's super valuable that people are going to be excited to get their hands on is really the best way to do this. And whether you have a business that's more online or in person, it's still super valuable to have an email list, because you have a way to easily get in touch with people and let them know about your offers and any special events you have coming up. And so highly, highly recommend it. Okay. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have an email list for your coaching business? And if not, why not? What's holding you back from creating the email list, okay? And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. I post new videos each week about helping you grow your wellness coaching business. And if you want to dive a bit deeper into the strategy, the marketing strategy of really growing and scaling your business, I just created a brand new training all about that. I really dive into the steps that you need to put in place to create a 6-figure business, a 6-figure online wellness business. So check out that training. The link is below this video. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.